to be back. I'm gonna hop right into it. This is a pick a card, pick a bracelet, and this will be how would you have to introduce, rather, how would you have to reintroduce yourself to people? Or, how would you introduce yourself to people that are new to you, right? So, people you haven't known for more than a month or even 3 weeks. So, if you have new friends, if you're in a new environment, or if you recently have pivoted internally and you're suspicious that, you know, dynamics have changed and you're not really sure how or whatever. If this is just for funsies, welcome. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe because I'm sure you'll be back. So just stay. And yeah, let's hop right in. I have 3 bracelets here. So we'll pick first number 1, number 2, or number 3. If you needed more time, girl, look at the thumbnail. Let's get right into it. That's so funny. For bracelet number 1, I'm already channeling that honestly, the way you would reintroduce yourself or introduce yourself at all is that things go on your time. And this doesn't mean that you exactly pick and choose what the time is, but you do allow God to really take the wheel and decide when you move and how you move. This may be a touchy subject for those who have control issues because they just want to tell everybody to do things their way because it's worked for them and it's worked for it. They just, um, which is okay. That's their own right to have conviction in what they do. But anyway, what I'm feeling is that you don't move when people ask you to move anymore, and you don't respond right away either. I'm actually thinking of a client I spoke with recently where she said that, yeah, I no longer feel the urge to right away be at someone's service as soon as they text me about something, right? So likewise with you, I'm feeling that like literally take a number. Um take a number, because if your request is just that, a request, and it's not really on my task list, it's not going to be prioritized. Um, and just for shits and giggles, you're ruffling feathers. Um, because again, the controlling ego of people, even in spaces that are supposed to be quote unquote inclusive, flexible, malleable, you know, like coaches who are um, shaming their students, their apprentices, their learners, really. They're shaming them out of their programming. You can't successfully reprogram a person through shame. And that's probably also something you need to reintroduce yourself in regards to. um, you know, not allowing people to make you feel some type of way for probably resting, taking your time, um, sleep supportive dynamic is something I'm also feeling. So you may have been a person who was always rushing, always, again, always ready to serve and urgent to move for someone else's needs. It seems like, again, you decide when to move. Um, and it's that's funny. I'm seeing like a factory line that has halted because somebody left the line. Um, but see, I'm seeing that being in the line wasn't your position anyway. You had a higher one. You had one in management. Not that being in line is a bad thing. Uh, but metaphorically, it's just speaking on, again, the level up, the promotion that you have given yourself via your own behavior, right? Refinement can only lead to being honored more, being of higher value. Um, and again, this isn't out of ego, it's just out of frequency. It's in context of frequency. I have an urge to explain myself in regards to my speech. Sorry, I'm channeling also. But I get the feeling that you may also be, um, how would I say, unfiltering the way you communicate. It's not to say that you're being less considerate, but you are getting it off your chest faster. Um, you may have had a wallflower persona, and you may now be vocalizing when you need something, when or what you think about something in the moment, right? So yeah, I'm also getting that you don't feel the need to really elaborate too much on your thoughts. You seem to want to just exert what you want to exert, and if somebody understands it, or and it really depends on your mood, I'm feeling, because again, you don't really do anything that you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, unless it's divinely guided, because of course, as children of God, we know that obedience does not always equate to comfort. And so we are doing things even when we don't want to. So, yeah. And speaking on doing things the way you want to, it's just being confirmed that we're coming up on the mark that I wanted to end at. So it's a pick a card. Um, but it is the very beginning of my channel, of the growth of my channel. So I know that a lot of these messages will be resonant with one another. So that being said, feel free to watch the rest of the piles if this energy check resonated with you at all on any level. If these are, if the reintroductions are not somewhere you're at yet, but you resonate with the prior, right? These are timeless readings, and of course, you have the power to change whenever you want at any moment in time. Um, yeah, you just gotta try it, and it'll take more practice to get comfortable in a different identity. So let's move on to pile number 2. Um, I believe it was the white howlite bracelet, and if it wasn't, well, oh well. um, well, with that alone, I am getting that you, pile number 2, are willing to make mistakes out loud, and it's not even a mistake. It's simply a detour, a what's the term? Limited edition, right? What a sigh of relief. Okay, I'm sorry if this is a little bit abrasive, but what I'm feeling is that you were a tight ass. You were uptight, and this isn't a fault, this is a programming. I'm getting that this was perhaps instilled in you through childhood, where you were not able to make mistakes, or your mistakes were punished. And I can't help but notice that I haven't stopped smiling. And so, what I'm feeling is that you have really become your inner authority, and you have really, really um, made a great stride in not shaming yourself anymore for who you are, and for the things you don't know yet, right? Because we don't know what we don't know until we know what we discover, right? And I was actually thinking of that word, excuse me, recently. The word discover, right? To dis is to not, or to, and then to cover is to, right? To turn away from it, to hide it. And so I don't know, I think that you're very open-minded, very open-hearted, and it's not that you weren't before, but again, I feel like the doubt, the fear of making mistakes was very much instilled as a child, because your parents were not able to, their nervous systems just couldn't handle the disruption, right, of the way that they wanted things to go. And it sounds a little bit childish, but let's be so for real. We are all just, you know, children in aging bodies, really. Um, Nobody ever really stops needing care, nurture, safety. Um, these are all things that children need, and we as humans continue to need these things. And if we don't get them, if we are severely neglected of them, chronically, um, the life slides left. uh, a message that I'm also getting is that perhaps you were maybe apathetic to people in need. And people in need can look like, there are different kinds of needs, and furthermore, not every need is seen, okay? Just because a person has the cars, the content online, the businesses, the money in the bank, and the teachers for their kids, and the home chefs, and everything, that doesn't mean that their emotional needs are being met, right? Their mental needs may not be met. Um, and vice versa with another person, right? A person who can seem like they have it all, smile, look wealthy, and all these things. They may seem like they're missing something, um, but are they really? And is what they are missing worth less than what it just, who is really to put worth on what another person wants for their life? I just, am I making sense? I'm kind of getting lost in the sauce right now, and I've also been wanting to take a sip of my fucking coffee, but honestly, um this may be part of the message that you, again, there's a feeling of a transition from apathy to empathy and sympathy, and putting yourself in someone else's shoes, right? And self-sacrifice being a thing when you deem fit. And self-sacrifice is not extreme. It's not self neglect. um it can be sacrificing your comfort, sacrificing your I, I don't know, comfort is really the only word I can come up with, because it is very vague and it covers many things, and comfort looks like different things to many people, but we can all agree that comfort is comfort. Right? um I keep seeing in my mind's eye like a person going to volunteer at a hospital, perhaps hospice or something, maybe death doula. um I was gonna say maybe birth doula as well, but no, I see people, I see the collective view, the viewer, going into rooms and seeing, visiting people at the end, or at the, in a struggle of their lives. So children lose their lives too, and um I think that that's maybe something a real, I think that they, excuse me, my heartstrings are being pulled very hard right now. And it, again, it just seems like there has been a heart opening in you recently. This may have been through a heartbreak, a divorce, a death in the family, or a death just close to you, so an ending, just a disappointment, right? That is so big that it just changes your view on things, right? And what else? Where are we at? 1935. Well, everybody gets 10 minutes today. So we're coming up to the end of it. And see the end of yeah. There's just a somber like appreciation for the life you have, and also like an apology to self and really to creator, because it's not that we wasted time, you know self victimizing, but there is like a threshold, right, where one just kind of runs out of time to um to do better, be better, to turn it around. So anyway, cheers. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Oh, I feel like excuse me, your patience has grown, and you seem to be a much happier person. And this may not be in terms of internally, because I feel like you may have always been a content person. Excuse me. Excuse me. But it feels now that you're able to feel comfortable in expressing your joy in a silly way. Um, it seems like you did already live self sacrificially in terms of your excuse me, I was like, what is that? In terms of your what was I saying? Fuck. There's just like a relief. There's so if you oh, that's funny. If you would imagine like a flubber, did anybody watch Flubber? If you would imagine like a flubber in a jar, right? In the shape of a star. The jar is in the shape of a star, but the flubber is like holding itself up, right? So imagine your flubber trying to keep form, and like you're trying to be so proper, but the jar is so fun. It's in a star shape. And so it just feels like finally you're able to play in the star shape, and you're able to take up the space and really enjoy all the angles and all the corners and the edges. And um, there's a sense of freedom. And now in my mind's eye, I'm seeing shooting stars. So you may be more optimistic lately. You may be quote unquote wishing upon stars. You may have gone to Disney recently. If so, I may see you there. I'm going again as soon. Will not say when, but if you see me, maybe say hello. I'll be with my daughter. And I say maybe because I usually have an RBF and I'm very unapproachable most of the time. So it's just me really in my head because I'm constantly channeling. But anyway, um, you're just so much. I was gonna say so much more fun, but you feel free. You feel relieved, and like there's a just a sense of relief, a sense of I made it, a sense of it's finally over. And you know, trigger warning, I'm so sorry if you may not resonate or you may be blocking it out. I'm sorry, but if there's any abuse that you've dealt with, tangible or not, I want you to know that so long as you don't lose yourself, keep like literally hold on to yourself, right? I don't know how else to say it, and I really hope you I hope you recover fast after getting through this, okay? Wow. Um, I don't think in pile number two I mentioned the title, but the way you would have to reintroduce yourself. Pile number three. Trigger warning again. Sorry, I'm trying to let this emotion go through me, and I'm trying not to shove it down, um, because it's information. And but anyway, the way you need to reintroduce, or the way you would reintroduce yourself, is you can't fuck with me anymore. You're not gonna hit me anymore. You're not gonna humiliate me anymore. Um, like, who the fuck do you think you are? Who do you think you ever were? Is the vibe. Um, very aggressive in a good way. But it not. I'm not saying you're acting this way, but the underlying energy in the heart of your soul is a rabid pit bull who is just furious and is ready to lash out at whoever fucks with it, you know? I'm so sorry. Yeah, the way you wouldn't, I can't even speak. The way you would reintroduce yourself is, um, surprise, bitch. You thought I was a poodle? I'm a pit bull. I don't condone this. And again, trigger warning, but I'm literally seeing in my head like a person kicking a dog and like it, like, like it. And I know it happens. That's why I'm just like, it's very aggravating. And so I feel like you, pile number three, are going from completely sweet to like a mango covered in chamoy and tajin and habanero, probably, depending on where you bite it. I'm so sorry. There are so many images in my head of just humiliation and bad treatment. I Scapegoating, you know. The way you would have to reintroduce myself is, no, you can't have my number, bitch. Who are you? Email me, send a pigeon, motherfucker. Wow, I like this energy. I'm sorry you had to go through what you did. Nonetheless, I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you're still kicking ass. Oh wow. I'm I know that the piles are contradicting, but we all go through life and we change, right? But so one or two of you may resonate with all three piles. And even more so if you are a vet of any kind, if you were in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. um, Big CPTSD vibes coming through. big CPTSD. And I'm just getting that some of y'all have unlocked this sense of humor that is just nearly diabolical. It you have really fought hard for your life, and you have really fought hard for your life, physically and mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Because again, it feels like there was much pressure to be someone and perform a certain way, right? Oh shit, we're at 30. Okay, well, that flew by. Pile number 3 flew by. But anyway, it's time. I gotta get on to other things now. I'm actually I'm gonna airdrop this to my I'm gonna upload this ASAP. So hopefully you can watch this on what day is it? Wednesday. It's Wednesday today. It is. Is it the first of the month today? I think it is. Anyway, happy fall. Have a beautiful one. I'll talk to you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You know the deal. See you later, alligator. Have a great one. Be blessed.